Welcome participants in the 6th session of Organizational Behavior MOOCs, and in the last session we were talking about the various challenges of organizational behavior, and in this session we will talk about the different constituent or building blocks of organizational behavior. What are different building blocks? How this organizational behavior can be constituted by using different constituents. The major constituents in the development of organizational behavior are individual, groups and organization as a whole. These are the building blocks of an organization, and these all blocks needs to be analyzed and needs to be understood, explained and described, so that the predictions related to the behavior can be made and actions and reactions, behaviors of individuals, groups and organization as a whole can be managed in such a way, so that the attainment of organizational goals, objectives will become easy. So, as I already told you that there are three basic blocks of organizational behavior. The first one is individual. Individual is one of the block of, and next is group and then organizational. Now, let us talk about the individual level of analysis and influence. Among some of our last sessions, we have been talking that each and every individual is different and unique, and an organization consists of its smaller groups as team, bigger groups as departments and organization as a whole by the basic constituents of individuals. So, individuals are different with respect to their personality, different with respect to their learning, different with respect to their motivation, different with respect to their attitude. So, whenever we are talking about individual as one of the building block of organization, we are talking that we want to understand the perception, how it is being managed by the individual, what kind of personalities they have, how they learn and how they can be motivated, and what kind of attitude they have towards the organization. Now, let us try to discuss in brief the perception. The perception is process of mental functioning. There are two concepts. First one is brain and second one is mind. Brain is a physical organ of human body, and mind is its functioning, its virtual functioning is the mind. And this virtual functioning starts with the feeling of sensations, and sensations are generated by the environment, and that environment may include the internal environment of individual as well as external environment. In this world, there can be only two things, the organism and the environment. For me, I am a living human being organism. So, I am the organism and rest everything here on this earth is my environment. It is not only the availability of elements of earth, even the whole universe is my environment. So, sensations can come from the environment as well as from within. Example is, if temperature of a room is going down, that is a stimulus for me. If I am feeling hungry, that is also one of the stimulus, but the first one is a stimulus generated by the environment, and second one being hungry is a stimulus created by the individual from within. So, this stimulus will force me to sense the decline in the temperature, will force me to feel cold, and that is a sensation, and this process of sensation will lead to the next process, which is perception. Perception is process of giving meaning to the sensations, that is perception. Now, why we are talking about perception in organizational behavior? Perception is a phenomena related to not only the basic senses only, it is related to the higher level of senses, thinking, working, and all these things also. So, when a person is working in the organization, what kind of perception individual has got towards the organization, towards his or her department, towards the people working in it, towards, so that perception, what meaning individual is taking from that, that is one of the constituent of individual. Next part is personality. Personality is the set of all the characteristics and traits, physical, virtual, both, being practiced and observed by an individual consistently and persistently is personality. And personality involves the physical as well as virtual. Physical means what kind of features I have got, how speedy I can perform, what kind of voice I have got, and virtual, leadership, innovation capability, creativity, honesty, intelligence, all these are the virtual. So, an individual is a combination of both the physical characteristics, traits, and the virtual characteristics and traits, that is the personality. Now, why we are talking about personality in the organizational behavior? Every profession has a similarity with the personality type. What does it mean? You take example of a person working in defense and a person working as a doctor. Now, what kind of traits and characteristics should be groomed and developed to make a doctor as a successful doctor, and what kind of trait and characteristics should be developed to make a person as a successful defense personnel. These are all personality features. So, there is a direct relationship between the type of personality and the type of profession. So, if we want to work effectively in an organization, then what kind of job we are doing, that job should be matched with the personality feature of individual. So, this is also next element in that is learning, which is related to the individual. You will find people, those who have different pace, different style of learning. Why we need to learn? In the last session, we were discussing that the organizations have become the learning organization. And why the organizations have become learning organization? Because of frequent change in technology and advancement. As a result of that, there is need to skill, upskill and reskill organizational people. And if we want to skill, upskill and reskill organizational people, the capability of learning, at what pace someone is learning, and this learning is attached with the professions also. The different kind of professions need different styles of learning, different pace of learning and different types of learning required by the professionals. So, with respect to learning, an individual is different. Some of the people learn by hearing properly, others by watching it. Third one are capable to learn by doing it. So, those who are capable to learn by hearing, then auditory learners. Those who are easy to learn by watching, visionary learners, and those who are easy to learn by doing are the kinesthetic learners. And this is not related to that, it will depend upon what kind of job individual is performing. Let us take example of a person who is performing the job of operator of radar, then the person should be a visionary learner. Suppose someone want to be a good singer, then the auditory one is the appropriate. And if someone has to involve in the production process, someone has to operate the CNC machine, then in that case the learning by doing or kinesthetic learning style would be appropriate. Not only that, there are different pace with which people can learn. You will find some those who are very slow in the learning, others are mediocre, and those who are very fast in learning. Again, it is associated with the kind of professions. Some of the professions, if the slow learners, they can serve the purpose, but there are certain professions where the quick and fast learning is necessary. You go to this quick manufacturing processes where the quick activities are required, there the quick learners can work. So, these are next is motivation. Every individual is different with respect to the motivation. In the last session, we were talking about motivation. Motivation is creating a desire of doing something in an individual who was otherwise not interested to do it, or his interest was declining. In that case, how individual can be persuaded, how individual can be instigated to perform the organizational work, that is motivation. And in the last session we discussed that motivation is of two types, intrinsic and extrinsic, and individuals differ with respect to the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. You will find people those who are highly self motivated, there is no need to motivate them, and you will find people those who can be ignited for the intrinsic motivation by using the extrinsic motivation. And yes, motivation is also an individual phenomena, and motivation is also related to the performance of various professions. So, accordingly the individual should be developed for that. And last in that is the attitude. Attitude also is one of the major factor which differentiates the individual, and as a result of that, attitude can be connected with the profession. Different professions have different kind of attitude, and during the development of a professional, during giving a qualification, during giving a training program to an individual, three basic components are handed over to the individual. Knowledge related to that particular profession is given, skills necessary for that purpose is given, and yes, of course, the attitude or behavior is also modified as per need of the profession. So, these are the basic, And all these factors of perception, personality, learning, motivation and attitude will have impact as a result of interests, aspirations, objectives, competencies, actions and performances. Every individual will have different interest, different aspiration, different objectives for the working, different competencies and different kind of actions. And yes, you take example of a surgeon and you ask 4 surgeons to perform the similar kind of surgery. All of these will perform the same surgery, but their actions will certainly differ in certain respect. So, the perception, personality, learning, motivation and attitude have impact on interest, aspiration, objectives, competencies, actions and performances, as well as the interests, aspirations, objectives and competencies, actions have impact on the perception of people, personality of the person, learning of the person, motivation of the person and attitude of. So, these are supplementary and complementary to each other, and all these factors now will have influence. These factors of perception, personality, learning, motivation, attitude, interest, aspirations, objectives, competencies, actions and performances will have influence on other individuals. What kind of perception I have got about people, what type of personality I am, what kind of learning skills I have got, what level of motivation both intrinsic and extrinsic I have, what type of attitude I have, and for what particular interest, aspiration, objective, competencies I am working will have influence on others, other individuals, other groups as well as on the whole system of organization also. And not only that, the organizational rules, regulations, guidelines, commands, orders will also have impact on this. So, it is a various complex phenomena. Individual working is a very complex phenomena which involves all these factors, and all these factors have impact on them, and yes, this individual has impact on these factors, and then individual is having influence and impact on the groups and organization. In vice versa order, the organization and groups have impact on individual. So, it is a very complex phenomena, and if someone want to be a successful organizational behavior manager, there is need to understand this basic, very significant building block of individual. Then next is the group level of analysis and influence. Basically, teams and groups are formed by the individuals, and group is a set of individuals having different and unique personality, perception, motivation, learning, interest, objectives and all that. It is set of all that. We cannot ensure the harmony, we cannot ensure the uniqueness. The individuals are heterogeneous in nature. So, group is a set of individuals with heterogeneous characteristics, and now all these groups have to work to address the interest of individual, to address the interest of group as a whole, and to address the interest, objectives and goals of the organization. So, it is not only individual is making an impact on the individual's group, it is group also. Basically, the phenomena of individual can be understood by the discipline of psychology. Psychology is the discipline area which helps us to understand the behavior of individual, whereas the phenomena of group working can be, or phenomena of group behavior can be understood by the sociology. So, these two disciplines helps us to understand. So, if we talk about organizational behavior, the organizational behavior basically involves the disciplines of psychology, sociology, anthropology, technology, management, administration and similar kind of other disciplines. Without having understanding and knowledge of that, it is not possible to understand the process of organizational behavior. And in this, all these factors will have impact on individual and group. Under the category of group functioning, as I told you that we can understand it with the discipline of sociology, and that can help us. And for that, we need to understand the processes of team and group working, power, politics, leadership, motivation, interpersonal communication, role responsibilities, network formation and conflict management. If in an organization an individual is working, then there is no need to form a team, there is no need to delegate the power, there is no need of any kind of politics, there is no need of leadership, there is no need to motivate with respect to others, and there is no need for interpersonal communication, and role and responsibilities are already decided, and there is no need for the formation of networks. And if all these things are not there, then for the individual there might be certain intra-individual conflicts, but there would not be inter-individual conflicts. So, if we want to take effective work from the groups, we need to understand the formation of groups and teams, then use of power and politics and all these phenomena. Now, let us try to understand in brief what this is. What is team? There are two concepts, team and group. Group is something, a comprehensive term which can include even the team, but team specifically differs from the group with respect to its constitution, time allotted to it and a specific project required to be accomplished by it, that is team. Whereas, group is it is accumulation of number of people to attain a certain objectives, and in that the process of time factor, the process of your project litigities may or may not be there. An organization may be called as a group, whereas the various smaller teams working in that, they are working for a specific time period, for a specific job or assignment or a project, and yes, even the financial aspects are also specified in the working of the teams. So, if we want to run the organization effectively, we need to understand the functioning of groups, and a team is the basic unit of a group which we need to understand. Now, when there are number of people working in the teams or groups, then there is need to delegate the power, there is need to distribute the power among the teams. So, already we have discussed, we have understood what is power. Power is basically authorizing someone to influence the behavior of others, to modify the behavior of others, to attain the organizational goal. So, power is also applicable when there is team or group working. And next one is politics. Politics means that my point of view is appropriate for taking the decision, and decision helps to acquire or attain the organizational goal. And politics also gives birth to the leadership. Next constituent of this is the leadership. And whenever there is phenomena of leadership, then people needs to be motivated, and yes, there should be appropriate interpersonal communication among them. And not only that, what kind of rules and responsibilities people would be, and how they will unite together by forming what kind of networks, and while forming the networks and while interacting with each other, what kind of conflicts will arise, how these things can be addressed is the phenomena of group. And lastly, all these groups subunits will constitute the organization, and lastly the organization will have impact on the groups, and the groups will have impact on the individual, and in the reverse order also, individual will have impact on the groups, and groups will have impact on the organization. And by this way, all these three basic building block of organization work together, and there is need to understand their behaviors by understanding the process of psychology, sociology, anthropology, technology, management, governance, and all that. So, with this, it is conclusion of our 6th session, and I hope that you might have understood all the concepts or the principles we were discussing during this session, and we will come with a new topic in the next session. So, thank you very much. We will meet in the next session. Thank you. Students, as it was decided in the beginning and in the introductory slides, I told you that there will be internal and final assessment. So, as per plan, after completion of 6th, 12th, 18th and 18th, 24th and 30th sessions, there will be internal assessment. And as per plan, the internal assessment will include assignments, practical, final exam and others. In place of practical, we will include the project. So, for the first, second, third, fourth and fifth different internal assessments, there will be quiz, assignment, and in the final there is project also. So, first of all, before I gave you link for the quiz and assignment on the completion of the sessions 6th, 12th, 18th, 24th and 30th, we must know what are various learning resources from where we can prepare for our internal and final evaluation exam. Actually, I have delivered personally on all the topics through video, and you have watched them, and then thereafter I have given you notes prepared by me, as well as there is a list of learning materials given on the slide. You can refer these books for your better preparation, and then you have to attempt the quiz by clicking the link given on the slide, as well as students, will also submit any one of the assignment from the following given two assignments by clicking the link given. And in the when we are submitting the final assessment, it will be submitted through link only, and quiz is to be attempted through link only, and after assessment your awards will be decided. Besides this, if students want to discuss on different topics starting from the session 1 to 30th, they can join the link given, and the discussion group has already been constituted. Students can discuss, can raise their doubts, can clarify their doubts, can send the questions which can be answered, and they can seek clarification with respect to certain concepts. So, with this you will attempt and accordingly you will be awarded. Thank you very much.